They are about communicating from a place of inner strength, rationality, and self-respect. When you begin to integrate these into your daily conversations, you'll notice a change, not just in how others see you, but in how you see yourself. You'll feel calmer, more in control, and more confident. True respect isn't demanded, it's earned. It's a natural consequence of living with integrity and communicating with clarity. Start using these phrases today and watch as the world begins to reflect the respect you've already found within yourself. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into Stoic wisdom. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more content on living a stronger, more meaningful life. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Which of these phrases resonated with you the most? Or do you have another phrase that commands respect? Let's continue the conversation. Until next time, stay strong and stay wise.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into something we all crave, but often struggle to get: respect. It's not about demanding it or being aggressive. True respect is earned, and often it starts with how we communicate. We're going to explore 4 powerful phrases rooted in the ancient wisdom of Stoicism that can instantly change how people perceive you and, more importantly, how you perceive yourself. This isn't about manipulation. It's about communicating with intention, clarity, and strength. So, what are these magic phrases? Let's get right into the first one. It's simple, but incredibly effective. I need some time to think about that. How many times have you been put on the spot? Someone asks for a decision, an opinion, or a commitment right now, and you feel the pressure mounting. Your gut reaction might be to give a quick answer just to relieve that pressure. But what happens? You might agree to something you later regret, give a half-baked opinion, or make a promise you can't keep. This erodes trust and respect, both from others and for yourself. When you say, "I need some time to think about that," you're doing several powerful things. First, you're signaling that you take the request seriously. You're not dismissing it. You're honoring it with thoughtful consideration. Second, you are asserting control over your own time and mental space. You're refusing to be rushed into a decision. This is a core Stoic principle. Focus on what you can control. Your response is one of those things. Think about the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius. He wrote in his Meditations about the importance of sound judgment. Rushed decisions are rarely sound. By taking a moment, you're giving yourself the space to apply reason, to weigh the pros and cons, and to respond from a place of logic rather than reactive emotion. It shows you value your own judgment. People respect those who respect themselves enough to not be easily swayed or pressured. It demonstrates confidence and self-possession. So next time you feel cornered, take a breath and calmly say, "I need some time to think about that." Watch how the dynamic shifts. You've just bought yourself time and earned a measure of respect. All right, moving on to our second phrase, which is a game changer in difficult conversations. It is, "I understand your perspective, but I see it differently." This phrase is the embodiment of respectful disagreement. In today's world, it often feels like if you don't agree with someone 100%, you're their enemy. Conversations can quickly escalate into arguments, with both sides just trying to prove the other wrong. But what if there was a better way? The first part, "I understand your perspective," is crucial. It's not the same as saying, "I agree with you." It's about validation. You're acknowledging that you've heard the other person, that you recognize the validity of their feelings or their line of reasoning from their point of view. This immediately disarms defensiveness. The person you're talking to feels seen and heard, which is a fundamental human need. Then comes the pivot. But I see it differently. Notice the wording. You're not saying you're wrong. You're not attacking them. You are simply stating your own position as your own. It's a statement of fact about your own perception. This frames the disagreement not as a battle, but as a difference in viewpoints. The Stoics, like Epictetus, taught that we should distinguish between events and our judgments about them. Other people's opinions are external to us. We can't control them. What we can control is how we respond. Responding with aggression or dismissal only creates conflict. Responding with understanding and a calm assertion of your own view maintains your integrity without creating unnecessary friction. Using this phrase shows that you are confident enough in your own position that you do unneed to tear down someone else's. It projects maturity, emotional intelligence, and a quiet strength. It opens the door for a real discussion rather than slamming it shut with a confrontation. Try it. It will transform your most challenging conversations and command a level of respect that arguments never will. Now, for our third phrase. This one is all about setting boundaries and protecting your most valuable resource, your energy. The phrase is, I can't commit to that right now. Let's be honest. We all have a tendency to be people pleasers. We say yes to projects at work when our plate is already overflowing. We say yes to social events when we're exhausted. We say yes because we don't want to disappoint anyone. But every yes is also a no to something else. Soften a no to our own well-being, our priorities, and our peace of mind. The Stoics were masters of understanding what is essential. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to ask of any action, is this necessary? Saying yes to everything is the opposite of living an intentional, essentialist life. It leads to burnout, resentment, and mediocre work because your energy is spread too thin. When you say, I can't commit to that right now, you're not being rude or unhelpful. You are being honest and realistic. It's a much more respectful response than saying yes and then failing to deliver or delivering a poor quality result. A flimsy yes damages your reputation far more than an honest no. The beauty of this phrase lies in its nuance. It's not a hard, final no. It leaves the door open. Right now implies that the situation might change. It gives you the flexibility to reconsider later if your circumstances allow. But most importantly, it communicates that you are deliberate with your commitments. You treat your word as your bond, and you don't give it away lightly. People respect those who know their limits and honor their own capacity. It shows that you value your time and energy, and by extension, they should too. It trains people to be more thoughtful when they ask things of you. Using this phrase isn't about selfishness, it's about effectiveness and self-respect. It's a declaration that you are the guardian of your own time. And that brings us to our fourth and final phrase, perhaps the most powerful of all because it turns mistakes into strength. The phrase is, you were right. Wow. Just saying those 3 words can feel incredibly difficult. Our egos hate to admit being wrong. We want to be seen as competent, intelligent, and correct. Admitting a mistake can feel like a failure, a sign of weakness. But in reality, it is the exact opposite. Think about the people you truly respect. Are they people who never make mistakes? Of course not. They are people who, when they do make a mistake, own it. They take responsibility. They learn from it and move on. Saying you were right accomplishes several things. First, it immediately ends the conflict. There's nothing left to argue about. Second, it shows immense respect for the other person's judgment and insight. You are giving them credit where credit is due, which builds goodwill and strengthens relationships, whether personal or professional. But the most important thing it does is display profound inner strength and humility. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote extensively about self-improvement. How can you improve if you can't even admit you were wrong? Being able to say you were right shows that your commitment to truth and growth is stronger than your egoist desire to be correct. It signals that you are secure enough in your self-worth that one mistake doesn't shatter your identity. This kind of accountability is incredibly rare, and because it's rare, it's incredibly valuable. People will not see you as weak. They will see you as honest, trustworthy, and courageous. They'll know they can count on you to be straight with them. Your reputation for integrity will skyrocket. The temporary discomfort of admitting you were wrong is a small price to pay for the long-term respect and trust you will earn. So, let's recap the 4 phrases that command respect. 1. I need some time to think about that. This shows you are deliberate and in control. 2. I understand your perspective, but I see it differently. This shows you are a respectful and confident communicator. 3. I can't commit to that right now. This shows you value your time and honor your commitments. 4. You were right. This shows you have integrity, humility, and a strong character. These aren't just clever lines.